It is rolling.
Screen. Welcome back to Certified Beef. We are here for the second annual of our record predictions this year. We do have our good friend Andrew Bailey on the pod for this one. Welcome
What's
back,
up?
Andrew.
What's up? It's always fun to be here.
Yeah. So we'll be going through every single team, giving our record predictions, some takes on their teams, and also we're going to be in the war room tonight. Me and Brandon, especially, have a couple fantasy drafts going on right now. So
And we
it's
also
gonna
got
be
our playoff predictions. Got to go all the way
Yeah.
through and do that.
yeah. So high stakes.
What are we
high
playing for,
stakes here.
Jack? What are we playing for?
God, we are playing for the coveted B-Dubs blazing challenge that everyone wants to do, especially me. Having done it before, it is by far the most exquisite challenge in the world. I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want anyone else to do it besides myself. That's why I did these horrible record predictions you're going to hear today. So yeah, let's get into
Andrew
it.
did
And
sign the waiver. I sent it to him over Instagram.
the waiver.
He signed the waiver.
Oh my god.
That is by completing these record predictions, he is in the running for the Blazing Challenge to do on the podcast. So yeah, we each got a 33% chance to get it. So
I
hope
have a
it
strat.
lasts.
My strat, if I do have to do it, is I'm not going to eat anything besides the wings and ranch. That's it. I'm not eating ice cream like I did last year, so I don't go through that. That was by far one of the worst days of my life. I was in so much pain that day to where it was like almost unbearable. Yeah,
Right.
so I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Dude, I remember there was a couple years back when they were doing like the test lab stuff, and I would always get like the ghost pepper wings. And just the next day, my poor ass would scream.
Yeah. I don't like the thing with me is I don't know if it was the wings that made me feel like shit. It was the pint of ice cream that I ate from
And chocolate milk and all that
and
good
chocolate
stuff.
milk I got. Yeah, I ate a pint of ice cream from Cold Stone, which was really good. But and then I ate and I had a full quart of chocolate milk all within the same sitting. And yeah, that day was awful. All three of them also did try it. Actually Parker and Brandon, and then our buddy Noah, he tried it and they died. Besides
Not
Brandon,
me,
somehow.
yeah.
They died, and I was like, seriously, like I'm like 10 wings in almost. And the worst thing is, for some reason, when you order 10 boneless wings of blazing, for some reason, you get like 15. I don't know why. I couldn't finish them. I was like, this is stupid. But all right, well, hopefully it's not me this year, but with looking at my record predictions, it probably is going to be. So, all right, how do we want to do this? I was thinking, I was just going to go based off my list or my teams and what order they're in, or we can do it differently if you want.
No, we can do that. I got last year's record also written down. So whatever team you choose, like I'll read that. Then we can go like whatever order we want, and then at the end, we'll do the celebrity shot if we have one for that team, and then the little twist I threw in was in Google Sheets I just typed in equals a random number between 0 and 17 to choose the record predictions, and we'll see what the RNG spit out for each team.
So if the RNG loses, do we not have to do the Blazing Challenge?
No, because these RNG rank or records are awful. They are awful.
Only if you would have taken all the time and put all the analytics into it, Brandon.
I'm not going to do that though.
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding. All right.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of times, man. All right. Well, obviously we'll start in the AFC since both of our respective teams are in the NFC. We'll start in the AFC East just because that's the first one on my list. We'll start with the Jets. Oh wait, am I gonna say the team and then you're gonna say their record and then we'll give our
yeah. So the Jets last year they went 4-13. You want me to start, or Andrew, or what's happening?
Y'all go first.
I can go first.
Okay,
all right.
Jack.
This year, Jets they made some improvements. You know, they brought in. I don't know if they really brought in much of a free agency as I would but they definitely brought in some rookies that can make a difference. Zach Wilson is getting his second season under his belt. I got the Jets going 6-11 and being the 12th seed in the AFC.
All right. My pick for the Jets. Yeah, I don't know if they really brought in anybody. That defense is decent, with the Williams brothers and stuff like that. But I think they regressed this year. Zach Wilson has gotten hurt both of his years. He hasn't even played his full second year and he's already gotten hurt. So I have him going 3-14. They are let's see. Here's the one. They are the 16th seed in the AFC.
Wow. Disrespectful. Did you say the 16th seed in the AFC?
Yes, they are the worst
Wow.
team in the AFC
Wow. Disrespectful.
for the second straight year for me.
Wow. All right.
Hang on, boys. Sorry, where are y'all going to like write down the seeds? Because that, my friends,
I
Did
mean,
you
if you
use
don't
the
have
playoff predictors website?
playoff predictors, because I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't.
Sorry
have it,
about
it's
that.
not the
No,
biggest
I
problem.
just didn't have it because I didn't know that's what we're doing. Build an NFL playoff bracket. Is that what we want?
No,
Just look
the
up
season.
playoff predictor 2023 or 2022, 2023.
Player predictor 2022, 23. Sorry.
No, all good.
Here we go. Now,
And then it should say like playoff predictor V2 beta at the top.
Yeah.
left.
That's
Yep.
where I'm at. Now,
All right,
where
perfect.
do I put in my prediction?
You gotta go through and click each matchup for every week.
Are you serious?
That's what happens, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it didn't take that long for me. It took like 10 minutes max.
You want me to
Alright.
pause it so you can do it?
Yeah, this is gonna take a sec. Go ahead and hit the record. All right. I'm gonna go the Jets 3-14
Hey, I like it. I like it.
and the 14th seed in the AFC.
All right. Let's take a stab. What do you think the RNG put for the Jets to finish this year?
5 wins.
5 wins. Andrew?
You know what? I'm gonna go 6. They got 2 good running backs.
Well, RNG does not care about their running backs. They put them at 2-15.
I'm just saying, man.
RNG does
I'm
not
just
care
saying.
about how good Brees Hall and Michael Carter are. So
I'm just saying, I think it could take a lot of pressure off Zach Wilson trying to force the ball to Jamison Crowder, and if Jamison Crowder can stay healthy.
just
Jamison
disregarding
Crowder's on
Elijah Mitchell.
the
Or not
Bills.
Elijah Mitchell, Elijah Moore.
Yeah.
And Denzel
Jameson
Mims
Crowder is on the
until he
Bills
leaves.
also.
Wait, did he
No.
get traded?
No, he signed. He was a free agent. He signed with
I
the
did not
Bills.
know that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then they don't even have to worry about it.
Okay.
Forget I spoke.
All right. Next up, we got the Dolphins. I got them going 9-8.
That's also what they
seed.
finished last year.
Yeah, 10th seed in the AFC. They brought in Tyreek Hill. They brought in Chase Edmonds. They made some improvements. I don't really think they drafted anyone special, but I don't know. You still got Tua. They still got a new coach. Got to work out the kinks. I don't know. I'm not a big believer in Tua. So 9-8.
Interesting.
I might be a little optimistic here, but I put them at 11-6. I think they made changes for the better. What? Wait,
No,
what?
no. I just rolled my eyes as a joke.
11-6. Like, yeah, Tua is not the greatest quarterback, but you do got Tyreek Hill. You do got Chase Edmonds. You do got the fastest man through the first 2 weeks, Raheem Mostert. Now, I'm feeling good about the Dolphins, and they play in a pretty easy division besides the Bills, like the Patriots. Yeah, but I like them more than the Patriots. So yeah, 11-6.
Y'all aren't gonna like. I got them going 8 and 9.
That's
That's
fine.
not bad.
It's-
I got them as the 10th seed overall. I mean, I think that there's a couple that they can sneak by. Like, I think that they can. Hey, you guys are gonna hate me. I think they can beat the Vikings.
I think I have them losing I'm gonna beating the Vikings.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
a swing game.
Yeah, I mean, with it being in Miami and stuff, like I think they play Miami in week 6, so it's still going to be hot, and I think it's going to be a little different for Miami, constantly being in that warm climate. Now, however, I mean, they could sneak by and steal one in week 16 against the Packers too.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Actually, you know what? I'm
Boost them up.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them 9 and 8 because I think that they can do that because the Packers are going to be in cold weather form at that point. And honestly, with losing Devontae Adams, I do think it's really going to hurt them. I don't think they're going to be bad by any means, but it is definitely going to hurt them. So yeah, I got them going 9 and 8 in the 9th seed.
9-8. So still missed the playoffs, but 9-8.
Yeah.
The RNG random number generator has them going 14-3 and winning the
What?
division. Don't put any stock into this, Andrew. It's just for shits and gigs.
I know it's just wild, man. Like the way. Hey, man, it's not my thing.
I just had the easiest 2 picks at the end of the first round, and Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon.
It's just not my circus, not my monkey.
All right. Next up we got the Patriots.
They finished 10-7 last year.
I got them going 9-8, 11 seed in the AFC. Really didn't make any improvements to the roster, and I think that Bill Belichick's ways are slowly depleting. Without Tom Brady, I think his ways in the NFL are getting overused, and I think they definitely need some sort of change. But they still will win some games just because they have that grit to that team. So yeah, but I got the Patriots missing the playoffs still.
I also have them going 9-8. Didn't seem like the team got better. You do lose one of the best corners in the NFL and JC Jackson to free agency. Matthew Judon still should be a beast, but yeah, Mac Jones second year still figuring things out. Like you said, I think they win some games, but they won't be spectacular. They'll be pretty average.
Yeah, I got them going 9-8 too, and I actually misread it. I have the Dolphins as the 10th seed and the Pats as the 9th.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Oh, go ahead.
I'd say I was just saying makes sense.
Okay. The RNG has them going 11-6, and we got our first celebrity shot of the night. From Fouled Out Podcast. Go check him out. We got Adam Fowler. He's a Patriots fan. He predicted that they will go 9-8 because he thinks the offense will take a step forward with Mac Jones in his second year, but the cornerback position is going to get burnt, especially against the good QBs. The group is mostly made up of not very good vets and rookies who are promising, but have to rely heavily on rookie corners, and that makes them nervous. So thank you, Matt or Adam, for submitting your celebrity shot. We appreciate it. We're all in agreement, 4 across the board. Everybody is in agreement that the Patriots are going to be as mid as possible.
That I love when we all have the same one because that means none of us gain any traction on each other for the
That's
plays
true.
and challenge.
Very true.
So, all right. Next up, we got the reigning AFC East champions, the Buffalo Bills. They went 11-6 last year.
Yep.
I have them going 15-2 as the overall number 1 seed. I know I've seen some things that I kind of agree. They might be a little overrated just because the hype, but you look at their schedule, it's really not that tough. They play, I'm pretty sure they play a lot of their winnable games at home, or like their bridge games at home. Week 1, I think, is where they could still. I think I have them losing week 1, but I still think that they could win that game because of the emotions with the crowd and everything. But a lot of their big games or whatever, I are at home. Actually, no, they're really not. They're not looking at it. What the hell am I talking about? But yeah, no, I don't know. I just think that they're a team of destiny. I don't know. I love the Bills. As I read my Josh Allen jersey right now. They all their tough games are on the road, but they're gonna prove people wrong this year.
Well, I'm right there with you, Jack. I got 15-2. I did have them at 16-1 in the on the schedule thing, but I decided that's a little too high because it's very difficult even for the best teams to go nearly perfect. Um, I do think they win. I think they got them winning the opener here on Thursday against the Rams. I think I have them winning for sure against Kansas City at Kansas City. So I think they're built for trap games more. They need I think if Gabe Davis can step up and they can get consistent running back play, they'll be golden for the rest of the season. So 15-2 is definitely within reach for them.
Yeah, I got them 15-2 as the overall number 1 seed. You guys have them. You said you have them beating the Rams in week 1. See,
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I
have,
don't. I don't have them beating the Rams.
See,
one.
My thing is I have them losing to the Rams, and I have them dropping 1 to New England in week 13. Just because it's something about New England and that environment. Like I can see them seriously that'll be their falter. And in all honesty, they may drop another to either the Bengals, and they could very well lose that Kansas City game, but I think there's going to be so much of like a revenge thing on there that I don't see them going in and losing to Kansas City. But I also think I think I think that reign is coming to an end.
Yeah. I have them losing to the Bengals, but I think of it just like that 1 year or whatever where the Bengals, or not the Bengals, the Bills or whatever, they came in and they just destroyed the Patriots on Monday night. That's kind of what I think they're just going to do throughout the whole AFC East, to just whoop on them. But who knows?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
RNG does not like their chances. They have them finishing 6-11. Let's go through so Andrew has the AFC East going 36-32. I have them going 38-30, and Jack, you have them going 39-29. So I don't know how you're supposed to feel about that, but they're
all right. We'll see.
Supposed to be a pretty solid division according to all of us.
Yeah, it should be a pretty solid division overall. Next up, we'll move to the AFC North, and we'll start with the Cleveland Massage. Wait, my bad. Cleveland Browns.
The D-Watt Dry Tugs.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns. They finished. I don't even know what they finished last year.
They finished 8-9.
8-9. Yeah. So I have the Cleveland Browns going 3-14, finishing as the 15th overall seed.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think, but it's like, do I really have that much faith in Jacoby Brissett to win games against other opponents? I just think that their schedule is kind of like not tough, but I think that they play enough inferior opponents. Like week 1, I have them dropping, obviously. The Jets are a better team with them with Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson's going to play week 2. The Steelers are a better team with Trubisky. The Falcons play way better at home. They have 2 home games against the Chargers and the Patriots. They're not going to win that. They're not going to beat any of their divisional opponents and Ravens or the Bengals. And then they go on the road after their bye week 9, they go on the road against the Dolphins and the Bills. They're not going to win one of those. They're not going to win against the Browns or the Bucks at home. So it's like they lose 12 straight or 11 straight. Then they finally win when the man himself, Deshaun Watson, comes back, just because the storyline is just going to be too perfect for the NFL for him not to win that game. So that's why I don't think they win a game until he comes back. So that's why I'm going 3-14.
I think you're crazy for not trusting Jacoby Brissett even a little bit. Like he was a starter.
Yeah, but their schedule isn't good. It's hard. It's not an easy schedule by any means.
No, but he can still win some games. I would definitely take the Browns with Jacoby Brissett over the Jets with Zach Wilson. 100%.
No, you're
yes, because that defense is good enough to score points.
I'm not. I
Nick
don't have
Chubb
enough
is good
faith.
enough to score points.
Dude,
Kareem
Nick
Hunt is
Chubb
good
is not.
enough to
No,
score
Nick Chubb
points.
is not going to carry this team this year like he's going to be able to. Last year, their offensive line got worse too. I don't know
It
if you know
did, but I
that.
still think
The O line got worse, and now I don't mind Jacoby Brissett, but Jacoby Brissett was good when he, covered a couple games over Tom Brady, but you're also covering it on the Patriots. I mean, you look at what Teddy Bridgewater did. He had a couple good games, but I mean, it was on a pretty solid team. And like, honestly, Jack, you said it best. Like everything you were going through, I'm like, yeah. All right. There's that.
Yeah.
And I mean, with everything that's going on in there, and I think one thing that used to help the Browns a lot was having a pass option. You don't have Jarvis Landry, you don't have OBJ. And I know they weren't outstanding in Cleveland or anything like that, but you don't have those passing options, so you
you got
become
Amari
one-dimensional.
He's not that enticing.
Honestly,
He's
the
still a
only
good
reason,
pass catching option though.
yeah, he was a good pass
That's the
catching
only
option when you
one,
had
though.
like other weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like he
You have
wasn't.
to have complementary pieces.
And
like-
Joku is serviceable as a tight end.
yeah, but he's still like he's not a top half of the league tight end, I would say.
Probably not.
So you're looking at Amari Cooper as your wide receiver 1, and then who's going to be your wide receiver 2 to complement them? Whoever the team's number 1 corner is probably going to be able to shut down Amari Cooper. So then you're going to rely heavily on Nick Chubb. And then once they zero in on the run, they're going to be screwed. So that's the thing. I don't think they can score enough points this year to win games. It's their problem. And I don't think their defense is good enough to keep them in games because I don't think their defense is going to give up less than 20 points a game.
Really?
And I think I don't think it's that good. Dude, giving up less than 20 points a game is an all-world defense. The Vikings that one year when they went to the NFC title game gave up 17 points a game, I'm pretty sure. Something like that. And they were a top defense in the NFL. So giving up less than 20 points in a game is out of this world. So I just don't see them doing that, even against bad teams. I don't know. I just don't see that happening.
With all of that being said, I got him going 8-9. I trust Jacoby to win some games. And I think they go on a little bit of a roll once Deshaun Watson comes back.
What's their schedule when Deshaun comes back? I mean, they play at Houston, on the road against Cincinnati, at home against Baltimore.
I think I had him winning that game against Cincinnati when Deshaun gets back.
Really.
I think they split the Battle of Ohio.
And then they played the Saints, which I think they lose that one, and then I think they win the last 2. But yeah, no, I just think their schedule is so fucking hard. Like, it's not super hard to start the year, but they also have to get through the growing pains of Jacoby Brissett, and that's the thing. I don't know if they can get through that. And then once they get to that, they face 2 or 4 inferior AFC opponents to them that are way better. 6 in a row, actually, that are way better than them. And then they play one of the best teams in the NFC. So their easiest part of the schedule is actually the first 4 games, and that's where they can actually win games. Is the thing for me is I just think that their window to win games is so little, and that's just why I think they're going to be absolute utter dog shit this year.
Yeah,
all right,
what did you have them as in the in the AFC?
Oh,
like as their season?
15th. I had them 15th.
They're 11th.
I have them 13th.
What's your record? What's the prediction?
3-14.
Yeah, we both have them 3-14.
Okay. So this one can make or break some for B-dubs.
Yeah, it could. Next up, I do have, or we do have the Ravens. The Ravens went 8-9 last year, right?
8-9.
Yeah. This year they're gonna go 12-5 with the 5th seed in the AFC. This team is healthy. This team made some big improvements to their back end with Marcus Williams and then Kyle Hamilton. They get their left tackle back. They get their running back back. Just a lot of things going right for this team going into the season. And I think Lamar Jackson on a contract year, I think he's going to play out of his mind. I am a little worried about their receiving core, but I think that their style of play still plays with their defense. I think their defense is good enough to get them by. And I just think that they have what it takes to win some gritty games. And I don't think their schedule is too tough. I think they play a lot of their opponents they got to play that are tougher at home, which I don't know. I just think that they have what it takes. And I really like John Harbaugh as a coach. He has what it takes to coach a team that's not the greatest roster to playoffs, which that team should have made the playoffs last year. Like the fact that they lost 8 games in a row or 6 games in a row or whatever's when they went 8-3 is actually kind of insane. Like last year they should have beat the Packers that one game. So yeah, they got really unlucky with injuries, which I'm not the one to say injury bugs or anything, but I do think they got hit by that last year. But I think they're going to be much improved this year.
I don't know who
Yeah.
you think is going to be catching the football for them. I have
Mark
them
Andrews.
besides
Yeah,
Mark Andrews.
Andrews,
That's what I'm saying.
Rashad Bateman.
Rashad Bateman. I did forget about him, but besides that,
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
know.
okay. Let me just say this: you got Jacoby Brissett, Amari Cooper, and David Njoku versus Lamar Jackson, Bateman, and Mark Andrews. Who are you taking?
Definitely the Ravens.
Okay, then what's your record for the Ravens? I just want to hear.
9-8.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like you have them going 9-8, and then you have the Browns going 8-9. Like that's what I'm saying. That doesn't make any sense to me. How you
Because
can-
I think that their defenses are very comparable.
I mean,
How are
but
they not?
their offenses are not.
I think I still got the confidence.
I'm not saying that defenses aren't. I'm just saying the offenses are not even close.
I'm just saying that Jacoby Brissett has to get him like 3 wins and they'll be happy. But
Yeah, but wait. So with your record is if Jacoby Brissett gets them 3 wins to get to 8-9, they'd have to win 5 or 6 games down the stretch with Deshaun.
I can see that.
All right, I'm just saying that's what all I'm saying is that's crazy to me. But
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
The Ravens, they're going 9-8. Their defense is pretty good. Their offense is probably gonna be run heavy because, like I said, they only got two. Turn that thing on silent, please. They only got
I need it to hear it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sorry. I just took DJ Moore.
they only got 2 receiving options really. That will split out wide. I'm just not feeling it. I think Lamar will play pretty good, but quarterback can only take him so far. So 9-8.
Yeah, I got him going 8-9 as the 11 seed. I mean, there's not really much to say about it. Y'all pretty much covered everything on that.
All right.
I'm willing to be the solo guy.
We got our next celebrity shot from Captain Coffee himself, Mark Bradley. He has them going. Andrew, what do you think? What do you think he has them?
I'm saying 13-4.
10-7. 10
Really?
and 7. Yep.
That's respectable.
Oh, let's see. He put a reason for it. Let me pull it up. While I'm doing that, who do you think is winning in a Big Guy Bonanza? You or him, Andrew?
Between me and Mark,
Yes.
I'll crush him.
Like, okay. You're very confident. I see.
Yeah.
Do. Almost there. Here we go. Lamar has no help on the offensive side. Still, if Bateman stays healthy, that record could be better, but he's already hurt. So there you go.
Yeah, that trade for Hollywood Brown really never made sense to me still.
Nope. I don't know why they got rid of him.
I mean, they did get Linderbaum out of it.
That's true. Do they need a center? I don't remember. I think they did.
They kind of did. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows?
All right.
But yeah.
Moving on.
Next up, we got the Steelers, who somehow managed to make the playoffs last year at 9-7-1, right?
Yep.
Yeah, with the somehow still on his feet, lifeless soul of Big Ben. Yeah, I don't have much for this team this year. They're going 4-13, 13th seed in the AFC. I like it's not that they lost anyone. Their offensive line is still very iffy for me. And I think that this defense would have to be out of this world to make playoff run this year or even make the playoffs. And I don't like. I know that Mitchell Trubisky probably has better arm strength, but I don't know if he is much of an upgrade over Big Ben. As much as that, I hate. Like that's crazy to say. Like I'm not a Mitchell Trubisky hater by any means. It's just he towards his time down the line in Chicago. I don't know if it was just coaching or whatever, which it probably was. But I'm still not a huge believer in Mitchell Trubisky, and I think there's a chance that Kenny Pickett also starts by halfway through the season. I think that's why my record is what it is because I think Kenny Pickett's going to come in and he's going to come in and probably struggle a little bit just because he's a rookie quarterback. But I don't know. This defense is going to have to carry them. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not huge on the Steelers, even though their offensive weapons are very good. I also don't think giving Najee Harris the ball 30 times a game is going to win you every game.
See, for me, the Steelers are always a team that kind of likes to hang around 500 when they're
That's true,
not
I believe.
very good. They did make good pickups in George Pickens. You still got a above average defense there. I put him at 7-10, still last in the division, but still a respectful record for a team that's last in the division.
Dude, I got him going 12-5, the fifth overall seed.
Whoa.
You've got, and I know I'm a big Mitch believer, and this is a hard pick, but with everything that they were last season, the biggest issue they had was at the quarterback spot. They're not going to have to worry about feeding it to Najee Harris 30 times because you have a quarterback that can move. Mitch has got some legs. He's got a little chip on his shoulder this year because this is basically his last chance to prove that he can play in the NFL. And I do think that's going to help. And I think it's also going to help Kenny Pickett some in the sense of now he's not going to have to stress to necessarily be the guy as much as I'm sure he would want to be. But I mean, I got him going 4-2 in the division. I just don't see, I don't see them dropping some of these. I think they'll lose week 1. I think they'll beat the Patriots. They'll beat the Browns. They'll beat the Jets. That's 3 in a row. I think they'll drop to Buffalo. They'll drop to Tampa. I don't think they're at that level, but I think they go in and they beat the Dolphins. I think they beat the Eagles. I got them beating the Saints. I have them stealing one in week 11 with some confidence at home over the Bengals. And then I got them beating the Falcons and Indianapolis because I think Matt Ryan's just a little too old now. And then I got them beating the Panthers and I got them beating the Ravens. I got them dropping to Oakland, and I do have them dropping in a grit game to the Ravens, and then I got them beating the Browns again. I don't know. I just don't see. I think that culture's gonna change a little bit, and I think that's really gonna help them. And dude, you've seen it 1,000 times. You get some guys that there's a good team around. I mean, we talked about Jacoby Brissett. Like he looked really good, and Jimmy Garoppolo looked really, really good when he was with the Patriots because that team was already there. And now you've put a guy in that can still kind of throw the ball and stuff. I mean, he's got a good arm. He's got legs. I don't know. We'll see.
I will say that Mike Tomlin is a top tier coach, and Heinz is one of the more intimidating places to play in the NFL. I forgot what the new stadium or whatever it's called now, but
it will always be Heinz.
It should always be Heinz.
Just looking at the way I predicted their schedule, I actually do have them starting 3-1 and then just absolutely falling off a cliff, which I mean makes sense when you have their schedule is just brutal after this, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird that I have. I mean, their schedule doesn't start off very hard, and then they just are going to fall off a cliff because they faced like the hard, like they have a hard division to play in, kind of. And they also have very hard AFC opponents they have to play.
Week 7 will decide that division or will decide that record. I think how they bounce back from playing Tampa and Buffalo back-to-back weeks. I think that will basically kind of be there.
That's going to be one of the worst Sunday night games of the season by far. That's going to be one of the worst Sunday night games is Pittsburgh at Miami.
Yeah, well. Anyway. But yeah, right. 5th in the division. Or 5th in the AFC.
All right. Next up, we got the defending champion of the AFC North, the Cincinnati Bengals at 10-7, right? They were 10 and
Yes,
7
they
last
were
year.
10 and 7.
This year, they are going to improve a little bit more. They're going to go 12 and 5 as the Ravens did, just because they obviously didn't really make much of an improvement on the defensive side of the ball, but that offensive line made huge improvements, getting Lyle Collins and Alex Kappa just to protect Joe Burrow. I think that's going to be a huge place. And then you get another year with Jamar Chase. They don't really have a tight end, but I don't know. Their defense started their defense started playing
They got
a
Hayden
lot better.
Hurst.
Yeah, he's serviceable. He is serviceable. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he's not eye catching or whatever, or eye popping or whatever.
No, but one of the best parts about his game at South Carolina is he never had to be the number one target at first. And then when he did, that's when they started falling off.
Yeah. So, but I don't really see many holes in this team is the big thing. And yeah, I don't know. I just think that this team is going to improve off that confidence of making it to the Super Bowl. And I think they're going to roll to another division title.
I agree.
Yep, I have them go on one better than you, 13 and 4. Like you said, their offensive line improved, which was one of their biggest concerns. Only thing you really need now is to improve that secondary so that Eli Apple isn't starting. It's the biggest thing, I think.
I mean, they did take Dax Hill,
but he's a safety.
But I'm pretty sure he can play slot corner.
Can he?
Yeah. So I don't know where he'll play, but I know he can play slot corner.
Okay.
I got him going 15 and 2 as a 2 overall.
15 and 2. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to be one of those ones that Joe Burrow is just a winner. He's just a winner.
True.
And like now he's got a much better offensive line, and now they've got that confidence that they could play. They got a good shot at really making a run, especially towards the middle of the season. I mean, their toughest game. The entire first half of the season, the toughest game I think they play is Dallas in week 2, and then maybe Pittsburgh in week 1, but it's at home. They've got Pittsburgh, Dallas, the Jets, the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Saints, the Falcons, the Browns, and the Panthers.
This first part of the schedule is very easy.
I know I had them starting at least 10 and 0. I'm pretty sure.
I have them going 9 and 0.
7 and 2.
Anyway,
the Dallas game is a tricky one, but yeah, it's a good team this year.
All right, for the AFC North,
right.
Andrew has them going 38 and 30. I have them going 37 and 31, and Jack, you have them going 31 and 37.
Yep, you heard it here first. All right. Next up, we'll go to the AFC South. We'll start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Did they go 3 and 14 last year?
Yes.
Or 2 and 15.
And they're repeating it this year.
Yep. Yes, they are.
15th overall seed.
Yep.
Wait, both of you are 3 and 14?
I have them at 3 and 14, but I have them at the 14th overall seed. This team is definitely going to go through some growing pains, but this schedule is just freaking brutal. Oh my God. They face some tough opponents throughout the year. I think I have them beating the Texans twice, and I think they win at home against the Giants, and I think they drop everything else. Obviously, this team is going to improve, just look-wise, not record-wise, obviously, in my opinion. I don't really think their offense made huge improvements. I know you brought in what's-his-face,
Doug Peterson?
Christian Kirk. Yeah, Doug Peterson's going to be a huge thing, but Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne is technically an addition. He didn't play with them last year. That might make a difference. They did bring a couple guys on defense. It's just, when you play a brutal schedule, Trevor Lawrence is really not proven much. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really like them too much, but we'll see.
See, I'm an optimist for them. I got them going 5 and 12.
5 and 12.
You are forgetting that this team did beat the Bills a year ago. So
Yeah, that was a fluke game. Let's
so
not
they
get it
still beat
twisted.
them.
Yeah,
But
I
I think
understand that.
I think this team gets better. They, like you said, they made some good pickups. Still, they got the young core there. Trevor Lawrence should step up this year. We'll see how ETN plays. You got underrated defensive player in Josh Allen uh at linebacker. I think they'll be like, obviously they're not going to the playoffs or anything, but they'll improve this year.
All right. What's that stupid RNG say? Or his
No,
name?
Andrew. Oh, wait, you're 3-14.
Andrew.
Yeah,
Andrew.
3-14.
All right. Yeah.
Well, we're not really doing RNG anymore because it was kind of stupid in the first place, but I will point out notable ones, and this one's a notable one. 17-0. Let's go, Jags.
All right. Next up, we got the Houston Texans. They finished 4-13 last year, right? Brandon? 4 and
Yes.
13.
Yes.
4-13, and I have them going 1-16 with the 16th overall seed in the AFC. Yeah, I don't know what to think of this team. They're not very good.
Wait, you
They
said
didn't
1
really
and 16?
Yep, they didn't. Yes, they 1-16. They didn't really make any improvements to their roster that much, and I really don't like their coach. Like Lovey Smith or whatever,
Yeah.
doesn't do it for me. So I don't think that really benefits them at all. Davis Mills will probably play better this year. They do have an exciting running back in Damian Pierce. But yeah, I just don't see them making many moves this year.
Again, I'm an optimist. Again, I'm going 5-12. I think Davis Mills does take another step forward. He was one of the better running backs, or not running backs, quarterbacks last year out of that 21 class. You said Damian Pierce, man to watch. They did lose Justin Reed at safety. I don't know how big of a thing that will be, but I think they'll win some of the games they're not supposed to. Like I think I have them beating the Titans again this year. Like they're just gonna have those fluky wins, and I think they'll pile up.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I just got them going 2-15. I think that I think they're the worst team in the AFC. And I just think they're just horrendous. I mean, the culture's terrible there. I mean, even when Deshaun was there, and I mean, they would go on little streaks here and there, but like, I think they can beat the Giants once, but that's the only reason I have them. It's the only reason I have them winning anything. I mean, when you have to play Dallas, Kansas City, the Chargers, the Broncos, it's just tough. I mean, they got a tough road, and I just don't see it happening.
All right. Next up, we got the Indianapolis Colts, who finished 9-8 last year. Brandon?
9-8.
Yep. 9-8. I got them going 11-6 this year. You get an upgrade at quarterback in Matt Ryan. I don't really think they made many improvements on the defensive side of the ball, but that good coach in Frank Reich, I think they have the ability to win a lot of these games. A lot of these tough games, gritty games at home. I don't know if they're going to be that good of a road team. I'm a little iffy on them on the road, but I think they do have what it takes to win a lot of those gritty games because they're able to run the ball. And the Michael Pittman's going to have a huge resurgence this year. Like he'll be really good this year. So that will help too.
Jonathan Taylor is going to stay at a top tier running back this year. Michael Pittman's going to have a good year. Defense is still stellar. You got a top 10, if not top 5 linebacker in Shaquille Leonard. And you still got DeForest Buckner there, who's a good D tackle, but I just don't see it for them. I have them going 8-9, I believe. Yes, 8-9. Matt Ryan is well past his prime, but he can still sling it. It's kind of like they're kind of like the Ravens. They don't got a good receiving game. It's Michael Pittman, and then it goes down to Mo Alley Cox, and then it's whoever else they can pick up. So, just not feeling too confident in the Colts. They also seem to be a team that's usually sits around 500 for most of the time.
See, I'm with you. I mean, I have them at 8 and 9, but I have them as the 4 overall seed because I don't think that division's good at all. I just think they have some tough games. Like, I mean, they got to play Denver, they got to play Kansas City. They got to go to New England. I mean, that's never easy. I mean, you've got the Vikings, you got the Chargers. I think they just have a tougher route. Oh, and they got to go to Vegas too. I mean, I just think they have a tougher route as a whole. And I think that's the problem. I don't think they're a bad team. And Matt Ryan is an improvement, and I'm not taking that away. I just don't think that their schedule allots them enough to like get the wins, but it's enough to win the division to get them in the playoffs. I think they deserve to be in the playoffs. I just think that with the way their schedule is, it's going to be tough, and they're going to have to win the division.
Agree.
No,
It's just
100%.
sad. It's just sad that there's going to be a team that you have a team that's below 500 winning the division.
Yeah, but we have seen it before though. So
the Panthers did it at 7 and 9.
It's just super sad.
God, my second running back in this is going to be my RB2 is going to be Clyde. Oh,
That's awful.
there wasn't any running backs in a flip around. This is horrible. Or Miles Sanders. Ugh, I don't like him either.
Take Miles Sanders.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I'm going to. I'm definitely gonna have to trade with for someone.
All right, Jack, let's speed this up.
Sorry, I hate that. We had that. We said we're gonna have fantasy. All right. Titans finished 12-5 last year, number 1 overall seed. I got them going 11-6. Don't know why. I do. This is a horrible record prediction. Third overall seed winning the division. This is by far the worst one. I realize. I think I have them going 8-0 at home. That is the dumbest thing I've ever done. But I think Mike Vrabel has a big thing to do with why I like them a lot. Still, just because even though they lost AJ Brown, I don't know. Mike Vrabel's a good coach, and I think he has the ability to coach a team like this. Like I said with John Harbaugh, not great roster, but coach a team up. Like last year, no one thought they would have been where they were, and they still were the number 1 overall seed. So yeah, I think that they can still make a good run for the playoffs and win the division.
I have them going 9-8 because you do lose AJ Brown. It's still got a pretty stellar defense with Jeffrey Simons. You got Kevin Byard. Got some good pieces over there. Derrick Henry's going to do as Derrick Henry does, run for a ton of yards and some touchdowns, maybe even throw a touchdown here or there. It's going to depend on Ryan Tannehill on the receiving core. So I still think they win the division, but it's going to be a close division.
All right, so we already know my division winner on here was the Colts at 8 and 9. I got Tennessee going 6 and 11.
Ugh.
And I don't love that, but I have them going 4 and 2 in the division. I think it's just kind of, again, dude, it's just the Bills. I think Washington's a better team. They got the Colts, obviously. They got Kansas City. They've got Denver. They've got Green Bay. They've got Philly in Philly. They've got the Bengals. They have the Chargers. They've got Dallas. Like, that's another tough schedule. I honestly think the AFC South has the toughest schedule out of everybody.
Oh my God. I just realized I took Gabe Davis and I wasn't paying attention. I took Gabe Davis and I have Stephon Diggs already.
Ooh.
Oh my God. I never make that mistake. I'm going to trade him now.
All right.
Okay.
So Andrew has the AFC South going 19-36. I have him going 27-41. And Jack has him going 26-42.
All right. Next up, we got the AFC West.
The best division in football.
Yep.
Yeah. The Broncos finished at a whopping
7-10.
7-10. I think they will finish at 11-6 this year as the 4th overall seed in the AFC. Now that sounds kind of weird. You're like, oh, the division's winner is 11-6. I just think that this division is so well balanced, like and competitive, that I'm pretty sure I have each team going 3-3 in the division. Like they'll split with each team. Like I think it's their.
I have the
that's-
exact same thing.
Yeah, I think they can do that, and that's why I have them going 11-6. I like them. And Nathaniel Hackett's going to be a good coach for them. Russell Wilson's an improvement. Their defense is still their defense. Their defense is always good for some reason. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, no, I got them going 11-6 and winning the division.
I have them going 12-5. Let's see. They are the 6th seed overall. Like you said, Russell Wilson is an improvement. Defense is always good. I just think that there's going to be another team better in this division. And I think that they'll make a wild card spot.
11-6.
11-6.
But I have them finishing 3rd in the division and the 7th seed.
Okay.
But honestly, I don't think 11-6 is a bad thing.
No, not at
Because
all.
you got Javonte really he's gonna step up a lot this year. You obviously have the improvement, but the fact that they went 7-10 with Drew Lock and was it Teddy? Was it Teddy?
Yeah, Teddy.
Yeah.
Yep, Teddy.
You still won 7 games with that. That's gonna help you.
Is Jerry Judy gonna be on the field, or is he still dealing with this stuff?
What stuff?
Didn't he wasn't he going to jail for something?
Oh, I don't think that's been a thing for a while. I totally forgot about that.
Just making sure.
Yeah, no, I think he's good.
Okay.
So, all right. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Chargers. They finished 9-8 last year, and I have them going 11-6 as well, but finishing 7th in the AFC. They massive improvements on the defense, which was their problem. And I think that they're going to take a leap this year. Justin Herbert's just going to be as good, have an MVP caliber type season. And I think that this team has what it takes to make the playoffs and even make a push as a 7th seed. But who knows? I just think that it's like weird, it's hard to pick this division just because it's so competitive, and so I don't know, it's just too competitive to really pick who's gonna make it into the playoffs or who's gonna miss the playoffs. I don't know, it's tough, but I got them going 11-6.
This is my 2nd best team in the AFC. I have them going 14-3. I think for this entire division, their main losses are going to be coming from each other, not from the outside the AFC West. So
yeah, it makes sense.
I think they were one of the winners of the offseason, getting JC Jackson. You got Khalil Mack. You signed Mike Williams to another deal. They're just setting up for success. And that offensive line is ever improving. So I think 14-3 is very reachable for them. Brandon Staley is a very good coach. I think I said all I need to say. Chargers going to take it over.
See, I have them as the 3rd overall seed at 12-5. And I agree with everything you just said, but I just think that they might end up dropping one more, but I have them as the 3rd overall seed. I think that they have literally every tool to be a Super Bowl contender, and a legitimate one, not just they made the playoffs. I really think that they can make a run.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Raiders, who finished 10-7 last year. I have them going 9-8 as the 9th overall seed in the AFC. So one of these teams does have to miss the playoffs, and unfortunately, it's going to be the Raiders. Not because they're a bad team, it's just I think they're the worst out of these 4 teams, which is tough to say when all these teams are actually pretty dang good. I just think that they also have to play a tougher schedule than these other teams. They have to face New England, San Francisco, LA Rams, and the Saints. They have their traveling schedule is a little tougher than I think other teams. Yeah, but I not like they made improvements. The defense might be a little iffy. That offensive line is really scary. Kind of reminds me of Joe Burrow last year, running for his life. But you know, we'll see. This team, I just think, is going to have the short end of the stick and miss the playoffs.
Yeah, just I'm not convinced by the Raiders. You go out and you get Devontae Adams. There's always something you want your team to do, but otherwise, I think, like you said, offensive line not looking good. Just a lot of question marks with that team on how they'll perform. So I also am going 9-8. Oh, they are my. Let's see, they are finishing 8th, so just missing out on the playoffs at 9-8.
See, I also have them at 8, just missing, but I have them going 11-6. I have everybody in that division going 11-6 except for San Diego. Oh, well, spoiler.
Oh, okay. Write it
Oh,
down.
Biggie.
Or you know what? I mean, I can go ahead and take it on the next one, but it does stink that I
Yeah.
really do have 3 teams going 11-6 and one of them literally missing the playoffs.
Mhm.
Is that
It's
even possible?
it's with the Colts winning, going 8-9, finishing 4th
Oh,
Yeah, it probably is possible.
because it pushes back Pittsburgh to 5.
it is possible. It is possible. Okay, so going to the Chiefs now, right, Jack?
Yeah.
Yes.
Should I start this one since I already basically
Yeah,
said
go ahead.
Sure, they went
All
12
right.
and 5 last year.
I have them going 11-6. I think people have figured out the Pat Mahomes theory. Hilaire just isn't it. You did lose Tyreek Hill. You gained Juju, but as a fantasy pick, I think that's brilliant. Like pick up Juju, but I don't think that team as a whole is getting better. I think they've reached their point. You've got an not old, but like older. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name?
The coach.
Travis
Kelce. You're getting an older Travis Kelce, and I mean, I just think that I don't think the line's as good as it once was. I think they had a lot of pieces before Pat Mahomes, and I think that's the biggest problem with this is a lot of those pieces are still there, and they hit their peak with their Super Bowl, and I just don't see them continuing to get better because they're not developing anyone really at this point. Like those guys are developed and now they're just aging. So they're almost like, they're just almost falling apart. And I do think people have figured out how to stop Pat Mahomes now.
Makes sense. I have them going 10-7 as the 8th seed and missing the playoffs. Honestly, this team, their schedule to start the year is absolutely brutal. And I think I have them going, what is that, 3 or 4-3, which they easily could do worse. And I mean, they have 3 games that I would consider like not like easy games, and that is at home against the Jags, at home against, or wait, what am I looking at? Oh, on the road against the Texans and then at home against Seattle. Every other game is either within the division or teams like Bengals, the Titans, the Colts, or teams in the AFC like, or the NFC like the Rams, the 49ers, and the Cardinals. So it's like they drew a tough schedule this year, and I think that, like Andrew said, I think Pat Mahomes has been figured out, and I don't think that you can replicate what Tyreek Hill did for them. And I think losing that and losing that big play offense is gonna kill them, and I think they're gonna unfortunately miss the playoffs. As crazy as that sounds.
Wow. Like I said last year, I think the Chiefs championship window is coming to a close. I have them going they're still going 13-4 in my opinion. Because I think they're still built for big games. That defense is no slouch. You add Justin Reed from the Texans at free safety, even though you did lose Teron Matthew. Still a good defense. Even though I did put him in my fantasy bus, Travis Kelsey is still a top tier tight end. I and also, like I said last week, Patrick Mahomes, like you guys said, he's been kind of figured out. Defenses are making him have it, or making him try to make plays where he'll just like sling it sidearm or like run around in the pocket forever. Like I think if he continues to do that, they're gonna start out like they did last year and just like completely awful. But I still think they're a good enough team to make the playoffs, and I got them as my 5th seed overall. So let's see. For the AFC West, Andrew, you have them going 45-23. I have them 48-20, and Jack, you have them 41-27.
Wow.
I mean, I just think a
hate
lot of this
dude.
is really realistic, though.
No, it
That's
is.
what
Which
you
is
think. That's
weird.
what you think until
I'm just saying, but like, there's realism, and then there's just being like completely outlandish. And I don't like. I think my biggest thing is I don't like Houston only having 2 wins, and I don't like the Jets also only having 3, and the Browns having 3. But I do think there's such a giant gap between the worst teams and the best teams. And normally, I mean, you don't normally only see 2-win teams, but I have a ton of 2-win teams and 3-win teams.
thing you gotta
Yeah,
remember with this is that hindsight is always 2020. You'll feel so stupid when March and February roll around and we recap all this.
Yay.
yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting to recap this. All right, well, we're moving to the NFC. We're gonna start with the NFC West,
Oh,
and we'll
okay.
start with the Seattle Sea. Yeah, you'll see what I did there. We'll start with the Seattle Seahawks, who went
7-10.
7-10. Yeah, 7-10. And I think they're gonna go 3-14, 13th seed in the NFC. Yeah, not much to say. You lose Russell Wilson. Yeah, and you have Pete Carroll as your coach still. Recipe for disaster with the quarterbacks they have, 1A and 1B, obviously, those two. But yeah, 3-14, not a good team. Bad.
Same thing. 3-14.
Same here. 3-14 all
I have them
around.
14th overall.
I have them 16th overall. So
You have high praise for the NFC, my man.
well at 2 or let's see. Oh, at 3-14. Yeah. No, I guess there would be 15th because there's one team lower than
Okay.
them.
All right. Next up, we got the San Francisco 49ers, who went 10-7 last year. I have them going 13-4, the second overall seed in the NFC. I think Trey Lance is going to be what that team needs. As much as that scares me to say that, I think that they're going to go 13-4 with a guy who's never even has played a couple games, but playing those couple games, I think is going to help him a lot still. And I still think that Jimmy G being there is actually a benefit to him, as much as people think that is not a benefit for him. I think that's going to make him want to play better than what he has been. Fuck, who took Ramondre Stevenson? Damn it. But I think that this team's they didn't really lose anyone either. They still they might have even got better. I think Brandon Ayuk being his favorite target too is really good, especially if you have Deebo Samuel as his non-favorite target. So yeah, I think this, and especially with Kyle Shannon and offensive guru, I think this team has what it takes to take the top off defenses and then also take down this division, which is also pretty tough still.
I have the 49ers going in 9-8. They sneak into the playoffs, I believe, as the 7th seed overall. I'm not sold on Trey Lance yet, but their defense is still very good. Fred Warner is still there. Just Kyle Shanahan is a good coach. He seems to come up with lots of good offensive schemes. So we'll have to see what he does with Trey Lance this year. I mean, I think you could be right. I think Trey Lance could be what they need, and his play is probably going to determine their whole season more than probably like any other quarterback in the league.
Wait, what did you have them going?
9-8.
Yeah, I definitely think that my record is definitely their ceiling, which I'm kind of regretting, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm going back and forth here, honestly. I want to have them going 9-8 as well. I think they have the potential to go 10-7 if they can steal one from LA, which would drastically change the playoff format. But right now, I think Debo does want out. I don't think he likes it out there. I think he wanted the money. There's that. I do like Kyle Shanahan. I don't think Trey Lance is going to be some all-star. I think that definitely hurts him. And again, I also think they're same thing with Kansas City. I don't see them getting that many. I don't see them having that many young guys that are stepping up to really take them to a next level other than potentially Trey Lance, but I haven't seen enough from him. So I'm going 9-8, just missing the playoffs as the 8 seed.
That makes sense. All right. Next up, we got the Arizona Cardinals, who finished 11-6 last year, right?
Yes.
I have them going 11-6 this year, 7th seed. Not much to say here. They really didn't. They added Hollywood Brown, which is going to help, especially with D Hop being out. But maybe Kyler will take another step. But I just think that they have enough winnable games on their schedule to get to this 11-6 marks and sneak into the playoffs.
If you flip your record, you got their record. For me, I got them going 6-11. Pretty low. I know. But I'm just not feeling it from the Cardinals this year. D Hop, he's out for the first 6 games. Hollywood Brown is not, I would not call him a good number 1 wide receiver. Who's their running backs? They got James Conner. Is that it? They got a receiving back at all? No.
He is their receiving back. He's a 3-down back now.
Oh. Their defense is solid, but it's not great. You do lose Chandler Jones. You lose Jordan Hicks. So it's not as scary as it once was. Oh shoot, I'm on the clock.
Did they replace Jordan Hicks with Anthony Barr?
No, because he went to Dallas.
Oh, that's where he went.
All right, who are we feeling? Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Devontae Adams, Debo, Stephon Diggs.
No, what pick do you have?
8. I'm on the clock right now. Or I'm 9,
Dude.
I guess.
Kamara or Cook? I would not reach on a wide receiver there.
Go Cook, just because if you go Alvin Kamara, I don't think he's going to jail, but I would just be cautious with a suspension.
What does Josh want? Is he behind you?
Yeah. Who do you want, Josh? Yeah. Oh, he got Najee. He picked for me.
I would take Cook or Kamara. One of those two. I think you got to get a running back
I
there.
went with Cook. Okay.
You got to take a running back with there if they're available. All right.
Andrew.
Next up.
What's your pick?
I got the Cardinals going 9-8 as the 10th seed. I don't think Hollywood's a true number 1. AJ Green isn't that great. You got Rondale Moore, he's questionable. You got Zach Ertz, who's also questionable. You got D Hop that's suspended. I think there's a lot of broken pieces there right now. JJ Watt's also fighting an injury and he's getting older. The defense I don't think is that great. I think it's going to come down to I think the Cardinals are very similar to the Ravens in all this. And I think they are a better team when they are fully available, but I don't think AJ Green's as good as Christian Kirk, not anymore at least. So you're down your 1 and 2. Yeah. So I just don't see them. I don't see him having that many weapons, and I think there's going to be too much pressure on James Conner.
Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, or DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre.
Jack.
I would wait. Say it again.
Diggs, Mixon, or Swift.
I would take one of the running backs.
Okay, I went with
I wouldn't
I
go
don't care
Mixon.
who.
I
I
wouldn't
don't
go
care
with
who.
Mixon because I don't see there's too many passing options, and I don't think he's gonna be that utilized.
All right.
I like Mixon a lot this year
I do
too. But
too. I had him. I had him last year.
I just took him. I did too, and he was awesome. I just took him in this draft too, which I need to trade for running back. I'm going to trade Stephon Diggs, my first round pick. Or
All
running
right.
back now, I think.
Rams. Let's go, Jack.
Okay, Rams, 12-5 last year, 12-5 this year, 5th seed. They kind of just copy and paste. I mean, they did lose. They didn't get bring back Von Miller, which was expected. So, but yeah, copy and paste. Improvement in Allen Robinson, but they're gonna have a little bit of hiccups as most Super Bowl defending champs do. But yeah, no, 12-5. It's just copy and paste. It's literally the same team. Might as well just copy and paste the record.
I went higher than you. I went 14-3. Only thing that can bring that down is going to be Stafford's arm if that continues to be an issue the whole season. But their defense is elite. Their offense can be elite. The only thing that would make it better is a solid, reliable running back, not by committee. But yeah, I think they can go 14-3.
Yeah, I got him going 14-3 as well as the second overall seed. I just think that they are a little bit better than some of the other teams that they play. I know they do have a couple tough games there. I think that they do have the potential to drop one to the Chargers in week 17, as well as going into Green Bay in the middle of January. I think that's just tough on anybody in week 15. So you've got those two options, but I think realistically you can walk away with a 14-3 record there. So yeah.
They are my number one seed. I did forget to mention that. Number one seed in the NFC. All right. For the NFC West, Andrew got him going 35-33, 32-36 for me, and 39-29 for Jack.
Yep. All right. Next up, we got the boys in the NFC East. First up, we got the Giants, who finished 4-13 last year. Got them going 5-12. Daniel Jones is still gonna suck ass. Saquon, I think, is actually going to be a lot better this year, and I think that's why they probably win an extra game. A little bit of improvement on defense with Kayvon Thibodeau, but I don't know. This team is just kind of like the middle of the road team. They're going to win some scrappy games, but they're also going to lose a shit ton. So Brian Dable might be a good coach. I don't know. Probably not for this team though. They definitely need a new quarterback, if that. But 12 seed.
I have a lot of teams clustered near the bottom. I have them as my 13th seed. This is not going to sound good at 2-15.
Jesus.
There's a lot of teams clustered down there. Yeah, I don't like the Giants at all. I've said it too many times that this was Danny Dimes' year last year. It's not. It's not. He's not good. Get rid of him. Not feeling it with Saquon. Don't know how to feel about their wide receivers. Did they release Darius Slayton or not?
No, they didn't.
Okay, because I know that
I
was
think they
going
kept
around
them.
that they might have.
Yeah, no, I think they kept them actually.
Okay, just not feeling good about really anybody on that team. Their defensive line is good, and I guess you got James Bradbury. So, but yeah, 2-15, not gonna win too many games.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got him 2-15 as well as my 15 seed. Daniel Jones is terrible. Saquon, I think it's going to be a Christian McCaffrey type deal where they're going to be so worried he's going to get hurt. He's going to end up missing games for like minor little hiccups. And I mean, that receiving core is it's just not good. It just really isn't. Kenny Golladay, that's your number one. I just don't see
He's
it really
been looking
happening.
so awful though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's your number one. And that's like, I just don't see, you're just not really showing me anything. I mean, and a lot of questionable injuries already. you do have Dexter Lawrence on the defense side of the ball, and like that'll definitely help you like clog up some runs in the middle, but I don't know. I don't see it.
All right. Next up, we got the Washington Commies. I don't know what their record was last year.
7-10.
7-10. I got them going 2-15 as a 14th seed.
Wow.
You do get an improvement in Carson Wentz, but I don't really see much out of them just because their defense is going to be horrible again. They didn't really make any improvements to that side of the ball. I don't know. They have a very iffy situation at running back now with Brian Robinson going down. I can't believe I just said that. Brian Robinson going down and Antonio Gibson. It doesn't seem like they have a lot of faith in them, and I just think that they have a tough schedule going through the year, and I think they're gonna drop a lot of games, especially in Division 2. I don't think they win a divisional game. That's how bad they are.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of that's I don't know. This record looks horrible. Now I keep looking at it. Whatever.
I have them as my 14th or 12th seed going 4-13. Yeah, you do get an improvement in Carson Wentz, but it's like their defense is going to be good again, but that offense is going to be iffy still with Carson Wentz at quarterback. They should be a lot better, but I'm just not feeling it with them this year. They're always just kind of a cursed franchise, I feel like. Just once they get Dan Snyder out, I think everything will be better for them.
I got them as the 12th seed as well, but I have them at 7-10. Um, I think they have the ability to be just as good. Honestly, they do have. It's funny. I guess old Ron Rivera missed his Panthers because, I mean, you got Terry as the number one, obviously, but De'Ami Brown's going to be getting some more reps in this year. He's fast. He's a good deep threat. Curtis Samuel, he's a good utility guy. And honestly, that offensive line, it's older, but it's still pretty solid. Yeah, Carson Wentz is a step up, but I don't see him keeping that job that much. I think you'll see a couple quarterbacks this year. I really do think that because I don't think Carson Wentz really fits in anywhere. I think it just kind of depends on when they get tired of him.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Next up, we got the Eagles, who finished 9-8 last year. I got them going 13-4 as a 3 seed. I got high praise for this team. Not that I like the Eagles, but they did make a huge splash getting AJ Brown, which is going to help Jalen Hurts a ton. They have a good tight end, good secondary wide receiver. Running backs are a little iffy, but as a committee, they're not horrible. That defense got some improvements to it with James Bradbury. Jordan Davis is a big, huge plug in the middle. They just got CJ Gardner-Johnson, who I think is a huge pickup, but honestly, their schedule just doesn't really look that tough to me. So, I mean, the games I have them losing against Arizona, at the Colts, at home against the Packers right now. I think I have them splitting with the Cowboys, but the rest of their schedule isn't really that tough. I think a lot of their schedule, I think I have them losing is those tough games against like winning opponents. Like that's what I think they're gonna have a tough time beating the really good teams is what is gonna be their issue maybe. But I think this team is gonna make a huge jump and could make some noise.
Terry T or AJ Brown or Deontay
Whoa,
Johnson.
Terry T. Who the fuck is that?
Terry T Higgins or AJ Brown. 5
T.
seconds.
Higgins. T. Higgins.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know why I thought about that.
Although I don't know, AJ Brown's probably going to be the number one.
He will, but they don't pass enough for me. Is the only thing. I think he's going way too high in drafts is my thing.
Sorry about that. My prediction for the Eagles this year is going to be 12-5. I feel very good about them. Their defense is improving. They did get Jordan Davis, right? Is that his name? No,
Yep.
from Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan
Okay.
Davis.
Yep. They got him. They obviously improved their offense, like you said, with AJ Brown. Jalen Hurts is going to take another step up. Feeling it this year. Their division is not tough, besides possibly the Cowboys. So I think they could definitely sweep the division this year, go 6-0 there. I think they got a good shot at possibly doing some damage. They are the 4 seed overall for me.
Yeah, I got him as the 7th seed overall, going 10-7. Actually, you know what? No, because I can't have Arizona that low. Never mind. No, I'm gonna keep it. I 10-7. I think it's a realistic thing. It does help getting AJ Brown in there. They're not great at the tight end spot, which I'm a firm believer that all great teams throw to their tight end.
Dallas Goddard.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good.
Whoa, that's my stud, number one stud at tight end there.
You think?
Yeah, I really like him. I think he's like I think he'll finish top 5. Like just I think as a tight end this year, just because he's like Jalen Hurts' favorite.
I mean, I was
target.
gonna say it'll depend on Jalen Hurts.
Last year
but-
he was the favorite target for Jalen Hurts. So
Yeah, but I mean, his number 1 receiver last year was who?
Devontae Smith.
Exactly. Who I do
He's
think
not
is
bad.
going. Who I do think is going to like take a big step this year. But I don't know. I just think that there's a good bit of. I think some other teams got better, and I know you guys aren't going to like this, but I do have them beating the Vikings at home.
Same.
And I know that kind of stinks, but I mean, I think
I do. Yeah, I agree with you. They're gonna probably beat the Vikings that game.
and I see them like stealing one from Dallas at home and stuff, but yeah, I think they finished 5-1 in the division. I mean, I do think they kind of beat up on them. I just think there's a couple other teams that are a little better out there. But yeah, 10-7, 7th seed, sneaking in the playoffs.
All right. We'll finish the NFC East off with the Dallas Cowboys at 10, or what did they finish? 12-5 last year. I have them going 10-7 and making the 8th seed, just missing the playoffs. You lose Amari Cooper for virtually nothing. You don't really replace him in any way. Michael Gallup is hurt to start the season. Their offensive line is slowly deteriorating as we speak with just the injuries throughout the preseason. What else? They lost Randy Gregory in the offseason. They just really lost people. They didn't really replace anyone, which I think is a concerning for them. So I think they take a little bit of a step back, and I think they just missed the playoffs.
Yep. I also have them as the 8th seed going. Where'd they go? 8 and 9. Like you said, didn't replace anybody. Lost a lot of people. I think. I mean, didn't Tony Pollard have more snaps last year than Zeke or not?
I don't know. I think they had about
He
the
will
same
this year.
touches.
Right, exactly. I
Probably.
think this is the year that it finally swings more in Tony Pollard's favor. And it looks like it's going to be the end of the road of the Dak and Zeke combo.
I don't
2016.
understand. Let me just say this. I don't understand why Zeke is getting so much shit. Like, in my opinion, he is still like putting up numbers, and they are acting like he is horrible. He put up over 1,000 yards last year. I know he might not have had the touchdowns, but he still had like 1,000 yards. Actually, no, I think he had like 10 touchdowns last year. He really wasn't even that bad. People are like, I think the problem was that people see is Tony Pollard is just so good. Like per touch, he's just like way better. And that's what people are saying.
Also, Zeke had that breakout rookie season, and people have just been holding him to this high expectation for his entire career now.
And that's a problem because that's what he did his rookie year is very hard to sustain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that season kind of put like a little bit of a narrative on his career.
Yeah, and now he's looked at as like horrible running back, even though he's really not.
Right.
But continue.
Andrew.
Oh God.
we know they're going to be better than the Eagles because said the Eagles were the 7th seed. So
Yeah. You know, hmm. Do I like this? Yeah, I like it. All right. Because I did just kind of make one change. It doesn't really mess up anything. Then my last one, I don't think the Eagles sweep in anymore. Because I think Dallas is going to drop one more. And I think they'll be 12-5 again. And I think they'll be the 3 overall.
Eagles go down to 9 and 8,
That they go down to the 8th seed.
but they lose a game or not?
No, not the Eagles. I think Dallas loses to Detroit, forcing the Eagles at 10-7 as the 8th seed.
So it doesn't affect any is what he's saying, right? It doesn't affect any of the things we said so far.
No.
So what was your prediction? Sorry.
12-5 is the 3 seed.
12-5. Okay.
I think they still are the best team in the division. And I hate the Cowboys, so I just don't want to say anything else about them.
Fair enough.
All right. For
Right.
the NFC East, Andrew picked them to go 31-37. I picked them to go 27-41. And Jack went 30-38. So looks like the second worst division so far, only behind the AFC South.
Makes a lot of sense.
It
All right,
does.
next up, we're going to go to the NFC South, and we'll start with the Falcons, who finished with a record of
7-10, which is
7. That's right.
surprising.
I knew that. I thought I knew that. 7-10, which they beat a lot of bad teams last year. That's why I have them going 2-15, 15th overall seed. You lose Matt Ryan as your quarterback. And then you bring in Marcus Mariota to fill in before I don't know who the heck they're gonna, maybe Desmond Ritter, but yeah, just not a lot of promise for this team. They'll win beat a couple bad teams, 2-15.
We feeling
That's all.
Cortland Sutton? We got
What?
Zeke, DK, Jerry Judy, Cortland Sutton, Godwin, St. Brown, Darnell Mooney at 5-9.
Yeah, I agree.
Sutton?
Yeah, I don't really like anyone else there. I mean, St. Brown would be the only one, but I don't think it really need to reach.
Okay. All right. I also have the Falcons going 2-15. They are my 14th overall seed. Not liking them. I do like Mariota a little bit, but like he's not going to carry that team. Cordero Patterson might have another good year. Who knows? Jack knows my feelings on Kyle Pitts this year. Yeah, it's just we're iffy on him. So, yeah, 2-15.
See, I love me some Kyle Pitts, and that is why I have them going 3-14.
Whoa!
And I have them as the 13th overall seed.
I love
Marcus Mariota was never really bad. I think he got dealt like a crap hand there for a while. And yeah, and I don't know about Desmond Ritter. But we'll see.
Yeah. All right, next up we got the Saints, who finished with a record of 9-8 last year.
Yes.
And I have them going 9-8 again, 10 seed. Get Jameis Winston back. Their defense loses CJ Gardner-Johnson, which I mean, not the biggest deal. Their defense is still gonna be good. Michael Thomas is still scary. No one knows what to expect out of him. Chris Olave should be good. Jarvis Landry should be all right. But I just think that they have a tough schedule. I think that they win some good games, but I think they lose a lot of like tough games. And I think they'll beat up on I think they're going to be a lot like the Falcons were last year. They're going to beat up on a lot of bad opponents, but they're going to struggle against good opponents. And yeah, I don't think Jameis is going to be able to. I don't think Jameis has what it takes to be that guy to take them to the playoffs still.
I have them going 11-6, like Blake last year. I do think they are a regular season team. Jameis is going to air it out. Their wide receivers are going to catch it. Defense is still good enough to hold up and keep them in games. So I think it's going to be on the play of Jameis Winston, like what's his turnover ratio, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I got him going 7-10, and going 3-3 in the division. I think a lot of people, maybe this is more my heart. I don't know. I think a lot of people have more expectations for Jameis, and I really don't know why. Because he's never been great. There's a lot of questions about Alvin Kamara still. A lot of questions about Michael Thomas. I mean, we'll see. I just don't see them as much of a threat. And yeah, I have them as the 11 overall seed at 7-10.
All right. Next up, we got the Bucks. Finished. What did they finish, Brandon? Mayo did.
13-4.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, I got them going 14-3, number 1 overall seed in the NFC. Not much to compete with inside the division. I think that helps them a lot, and I think that they draw a good. They're the way they draw their opponents for their out of division opponents is fairly like what is the word I'm looking for?
Favorable.
I don't know. Favorable, yes. They play a lot of their hard opponents at home, which I think is going to help them be a lot better than help their record a lot. Maybe they won't be as good of a fourth. They might not be a team that is as good as 14-3, but I think their record speaks volumes to their schedule, which I think they're going to play. They play a lot better at home. So, and they have Tom Brady, so I don't bet against that man. So 14-3.
I have them regressing a little bit this year. I have them going 12-5. I think this is Brady's last year. I think it's gonna be final after this year. Seems pretty obvious after he had the little hiatus during training camp, during preseason. But I think they're gonna be a solid team. Defense is good. Offense is still good. Just need I guess they got Lenny. They need a good pass catching back, but they're still third in the NFC for me. So no slouches by any mean.
Yeah, no, I have him actually going at 14-3 too. I think this is Tom's all out year. I know he's kind of going through some stuff with Giselle. So I do think, I think he's gonna have a little chip on his shoulder. They're who they are. They're a good team. I mean, Giovanni Bernard's always been a kind of a decent receiving back, and then Leonard Fournette is actually playing, I think, some of his best ball within the last couple years. And I think it's really helped because, I mean, they do have a good offensive line. There's some stuff going on with Chris Godwin, though, in there. Is he hurt?
He's coming off an ACL, but he just did practice without a brace today, so he might actually play week 1.
Okay, so I mean, that'll definitely help. Obviously,
But
Mike
they
Evans.
also did they did bring in like Russell Gage and Julio, so it's like even if he doesn't play, they still have the arsenal to do it.
Well, I think everything that they wanted Antonio to be, Julio Jones can be.
Yeah, because he doesn't have that off the field shit.
So yeah, I see him going 5-1 in the division, number 1 overall in the NFC at 14-3.
Hold on, we got another celebrity shot here. It's from Jared Fenema. I don't know if you knew this or not, Jack, but he was a flag runner for the Buccaneers last year. So every time they scored a touchdown, he'd be running onto the field with one of the
I always
letters.
make fun of the ones at the Vikings games because they have those old ass flags from the Metrodome and they still have not updated them. So it's funny, but that's
I don't think
sick.
the Buccaneers are like us, but he has them going at 12-5. Let me pull up his reasons real quick. Here we go. Bucks will be great because of Brady, weapons and defense. Offensive line is a huge question though, because they did lose Alex Kappa and who else retired? Right.
Oh, it was the other one. What's his name? It's not gonna come to me, but they also did lose Ryan Jensen in the offseason.
Did he retire or did he leave?
Ryan Jensen hurt. He got hurt.
Oh, that's right. That's right. if they were healthy there, they would be a 3 or 4 loss team, but still 12-5 from.
Oh, Ali
their
Marpet. He
Yes,
retired.
Ali Marpet.
Yeah. So, all right. Now to Andrew's team, the team he loves to hate, the Carolina Panthers. What did they finish last year?
5-12.
5-12. Well,
Yes, after that nice 3-0
5-12
start.
back-to-back years.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got them going 6-11. I gave them a little bit of a boost this year. I don't know reason why. Baker Mayfield. That's going to be my reason why. I don't really have much to say about this team because I don't know much about this team. So
I'll enlighten you in a moment.
I have them going 7-10. Baker does elevate this team over Sam Darnold. Like I said last week, DJ Moore has a good year. Defense is underrated. They're gonna be good. I think they'll keep them in games, and Baker might honestly win them some games. So going with them. If Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, that number could be even higher, honestly.
Yeah, so I have them somehow. I don't know how they slipped in here, but I have them finishing 10-7. They're the 6th seed, and I know this is like kind of wild, but with a healthy Baker, if he stays healthy, it's really good. The running back situation I think is going to be a lot better with Christian McCaffrey because I think this is Chuba's year to really take a big step up as a true running back. And there's a lot of rumblings and stuff. They've been running McCaffrey out of the slot a lot recently in practice. So I think that's going to keep him healthier and not take such a beating. And so you'll have Chuba really be the RB1 and Deonta Foreman. He's going to be like their big inside 5-yard back. We'll see if Terrence Marshall can actually start performing. He didn't really do much last year, but he was their 2nd pick last season, I want to say, out of LSU. Robbie Anderson's a little questionable. DJ Moore, I think, is going to be like a big deciding factor. The biggest thing that worries me is the oldest guy on the offensive line is 30, and he doesn't start. The oldest starting offensive lineman is 28. But they do have Icky coming in. And I do think he's going to be good. I think it's going to help having some youth there because they're going to be able to pull a little faster. And honestly, that defense it's not bad. I mean, Dante Jackson, you got Jeremy Chin, JC Horn's coming back. So like when you had the pieces to be okay. And when your quarterbacks were Teddy Bridgewater, PJ Walker, Taylor Heineke, and Sam Darnold during that whole stint, and you still won 5 games. Now I know last season was interesting as well. I mean, you brought Cam back in, then you fired your offensive coordinator the week after he got there, and then played him and he didn't show out. So you went back to your XFL guy. So I do think you could, I mean, I think they can be like a little dark horse to kind of stir some things up this year. I don't see them as like any kind of like a real contender for anything, but I do see them stealing one from Tampa just because they always play Tampa pretty tough, even the last 2 years. I don't see them losing to the Saints. I think they'll drop the Cardinals. I think they can beat San Francisco. They'll lose to the Bengals. They'll lose to the Ravens. They'll lose to Pittsburgh. But I do, and then they'll split. I'm sorry, they'll split with the Saints, not the Bucks.
All right. For Ikem Kanwu coming in, can we get a little icky shuffle from you, Andrew, or not?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Just I should ask.
I don't even
all
know
right.
what that is, so I'm old.
You don't know what the icky shuffle is?
Dude, I am 26.
it's an old football guy. He's old. He's like old. He
Played for the Bengals in like the 80s.
Oh, I don't know.
all right. It's okay. That's all right.
All right, but you should look it up sometime. But for the NFC South, Andrew, you have them going 34-34. I have them going 32-36, and Jack 31-37.
All right. Next up, we're gonna finish it off with the NFC North. We're gonna start with the Bears. The Bears finished with a record of
Oh,
Brandon.
sorry. 6-11. 6-11.
There, thank you. All right. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yes, Bears gonna finish 2-15. There's nothing promising about this team besides Justin Fields. I understand they have Darnell Mooney, who's gonna be probably not too bad, but when they're the only piece on that offense, it's gonna be somewhat good. It's gonna be hard. Their offensive line is iffy. Their defense got even worse. So yeah, nothing good about this team. 2-15, 16th seed in the NFC.
I'm just gonna say I agree because I got the exact same thing.
Makes sense.
We are all in agreement. 2-15 for the Bears. We can move on.
All right. Next up, we got the Lions, who finished 3-13-1. Correct?
Yes, 3-13-1.
3-13-1. This is crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's because of Hard Knocks. I don't know. The Lions going 9-8. With the ninth overall seed. They're not making the playoffs. Let's get that out of the way. But this team was very competitive last year, even if they had a record of 3-13, very competitive. And I don't know what it is, but the Hard Knocks has got me feeling some type of way about this team, even though they're a division rival. They are fun to watch on Hard Knocks. And yeah, I think they could definitely make some noise this year. They could maybe sneak into the playoffs. Who knows? They'd have to go 11-6 for me to sneak into the playoffs, but I do think they have the ability to make some noise and beat a lot of good teams. Like I'm pretty sure I have them beating the Vikings once. I think they have them
Wow.
beating them at home. I think they have them splitting with Green Bay too. Yeah, they
Very
do.
confident in this team.
I think this team is good. Like they were good last year. They definitely played up to their opponents as a bad team. Like as much as that sounds crazy, but I think that this team played very well against teams that were way better than them. And yeah, they're gonna beat up on a lot of these bad teams, but I think they have a chance to beat some of these good teams. Like I do have them beating the Packers at home and the Vikings at home. Yeah, I just think this team has the potential, and I think Dan Campbell's a very good coach.
At least Dan Campbell is a fun coach to watch. I agree with you. They're going to improve, not as much as you said, but I still have them going a respectable 7-10. That's a 4-win jump. That's a good year-to-year jump. Jameson Williams is there now. He's going to be out for a little bit, but he's still there. Hawkinsock can turn it up at points. You know, it's going to be on Jared Goff. That defense is pretty good for a bad team. Offensive line is very underrated. They are probably a top 10, if not top 5. So they got all the pieces there. It could be a very good year for them.
Yeah, I have them. I don't even know how. I have them sneaking in.
That's crazy.
I have them sneaking in the 7th seed at 10-7 because I do think they've got the potential to beat the Vikings at home and to beat oh my gosh, who was the other team that you said?
Packers.
Oh, and Green Bay. I think they've
Yeah.
I think they have the tools for it. Now you're looking at DeAndre Swift's 3rd season. I don't know. I mean, Jared Goff, he's not good. He's a step down from Matt Stafford, but they just looking at him and stuff. And I ain't even really been watching Hard Knocks that much, but I don't know. I can see them going 7-2 at home. I mean, I have them going 3-5 on the road, 8-4 in the conference. I don't think the NFC is really a good conference as a whole. Maybe I think the big thing is the reason I have them going 10-7 is I think they can steal that week 7 game in Dallas.
Yeah, that's a big game. I don't have them winning that, but I think that's a game they could easily win.
Yeah, and I think that's the one that snuck them in because what it did is it flipped them and the Eagles. So I think that game is really what comes down to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Got 2 celebrity shots. I forgot to mention the one for the Bears. My buddy Sean here at Iowa. He said the Bears are going 5-12. Didn't really give a reason.
That's a homer ass prediction right
That
there.
is when I
That's
asked him the
big
first
homer.
time, he was like, "Man, we're just gonna be awful," and then he comes up with that. So 5-12, and then our second one is from Matt from Fouled Out. He says, they will go 8-9 this year. Really good offensive line and improve in the wide receiver core. Hutch could elevate the defense. We didn't even mention Aiden Hutchinson. Plus, there are an insane amount of guys returning from injury, but our QB is a major question mark. So optimistic, but like well within reason.
Yep. All right. Next up, we got them fucks over there. The Green Bay Packers. They were 13-4 last year. As much as I hate to say it, they're gonna go 12-5.
Come on, Hot Rod.
What?
You're on the clock.
Oh. The Packers, I think that they're getting overhyped. People need to realize that losing a top 3 wide receiver in the
Did
league
you
is
give
gonna
your prediction? Sorry.
12-5.
12-5. Okay, thank you.
I don't know. It's just their schedule is just not that tough. Again, they play a lot of They play a lot of opponents at home, and they tend not to lose at home. Is the big thing for me is they don't lose at home, and I don't have them losing a home game, which is crazy. But they don't really play any good opponents at home. Like they play the Vikings at home, but I think they split with the Vikings. Their toughest opponent at home is by far the Rams, and I don't think the Rams are going to play very well later in the season. But this team very well could slip up and miss the playoffs. I think this team could easily go 9-8. I think this team could also maybe go 13-4. This team is very iffy. Their offensive line is still solid. Bakhtiari is iffy for me, but it depends on how they structure their offense. Really, their defense is still going to be solid. It depends on how they structure their offense, because if they can consistently do a ground and pound style and not have to rely on these receivers, then I could see them being a lot better. But if they aren't able to rely on that, I think having to rely on these receivers that they got now is going to be hard to do for them. So I just don't see. I see them being good, and I see them winning the division. But in just the record, just going based off record predictions, but deep down, I don't think they're going to be that good. It's just when you look at their schedule, it's hard to pick those games that I think they could lose. But if you just look at the schedule, they're going to lose. So I have them 12-5, but I don't see them going 12-5 at all.
I have them. Matt LaFleur is a 13-4 machine, and that's what I'm going with. Going 13-4, like you said, defense is gonna be good. Jair Alexander still there. Devondre Campbell.
Andrew Campbell.
He could have another good season. I mean, their defense is good. I think if AJ Dillon really picks up the pace again this year, then they won't have to rely on their wide receivers. I think Alan Lazard is the only one you can really rely on, because outside of week 1, Sammy Watkins is worthless. So, yeah, I think that, and they're also the Packers with Aaron Rodgers. Like, I know that's kind of a Blake thing to say, but he is still there. So I think
I hate that take. That's such a shitty take.
It's a Blake take. So
it's just stupid, because you could say that about a bunch of teams, but like you got to look at the roster in a whole, and the roster is scary for the Packers. Like out of all the teams where it's like you could just be like, oh, it's just like this. Like the Chiefs, you could just be like, oh, they have Patrick Mahomes, but their roster around them is actually a lot better than the Packers. Like I saw they were showing like the weapons that Rodgers has to throw to. The guy with the highest receptions on that team last year, besides Adams, was Alan Lazard, and he had 40 receptions last year.
That's pretty sad.
So your top guy that you're returning has caught 40 balls last year, and you expect them to be just all fancy dancy and just running around the field like it's fucking with Devontae Adams? No, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Then they're going to have a rude awakening fucking Sunday when they get their fucking ass kicked. All right, go ahead, Andrew. This is an outsider perspective, so this is going to be very interesting to hear.
I have them winning the division, but tying.
So do I.
I have them at 11-6, but I have them as the 4 seed winning the division. I think Aaron Jones is going to have to step up. I'm with you on the Sammy Watkins stuff. Randall Cobb's still good. Whenever you have Aaron Rodgers, as much as you hate him, he can and will put you in a position to win.
Yeah, no, I
I know
agree.
I know he's older. The guy's still got one of the best arms in the league. And just the way, I mean, Green Bay is one of those teams, like, as long as I can remember, like, do y'all remember Brett Favre like actually playing for the Packers?
No.
No,
he
not
was-
not memory wise, not memory
Okay,
wise.
so like they didn't miss a beat when Aaron Rodgers stepped in after he went to the Jets.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, just from an, like I said, outsider, I think they lose week 1 to the Vikings.
I agree.
They'll beat the Bears. I think they'll lose week 3 to Tampa because it's in Tampa, and that's just how it goes. Then they're going to win the next 4 actually, because I think they'll go into, they got 3 home games in a week or 3 home games in a row.
They always have that too.
Then they go to Washington. Then they'll lose to the Bills, and I have them losing to Detroit because I do think that's very possible.
Same.
And then they'll beat Dallas at home because now we're starting to get in the colder months. Dallas plays indoors. Green Bay plays in Green Bay. Tennessee's not going to beat Green Bay. I have them losing to the Phillies, and I have them having not to the Phillies, sorry, to the Eagles. And then I do actually have them slipping up against the Bears. I think the Bears are going to pull one out of their butts. That's my one little thing for the Bears. I'm telling you, like, I think that because they have a habit of doing that. And then I think they'll lose to the Rams. No, I'm sorry. I don't have them losing to the Bears. I apologize.
Oh.
But it is possible. I mean, it is possible. Like, I mean, going into Chicago, it's a rivalry game. Stuff happens. I have them losing to LA. Then I do have them going down because they're, again, cold winter months, going down to Miami. You're flipping the switch real quick because every game. So you get, let's see. You're in Green Bay in week 15. Your bye's week 14. You're in Chicago week 13. Week 12, you're in Philly. Week 11 and week 10, you're both in Green Bay. So you've got all these outdoor games that are cold, and then now you're going to have to go play where it's 85 in January. And then you go back, and I think they'll bounce back from Miami, beat the Vikings, and I think being outside again in Green Bay is going to affect the Lions. So I think 11-6 is very, very realistic. I mean, I have them dropping 2 games in the division. And it's not like I have them winning the division. I just think that division's going to beat up on itself. And I think of all of them, Green Bay is the most complete. As much as I think the skill positions on Minnesota are better, though. But I just think as a complete team, I think Green Bay is better. Well, I mean, I don't even think they're better. I just think the way everybody else plays, I think they'll sneak in and somehow win the division.
Makes sense. All right. Well, here we go. Comes down to this. The Vikings finished with a record of 8-9 last year, and I will go last.
I'll go first.
Okay.
My non-biased, just to continue. Again, I got them going 11-6 and 4-2 in the division. I just think they're somewhere on here. They kind of got screwed out of it. Their strength of schedule's a little worse than Green Bay, but I have them winning in Green Bay week 1. I do think they'll end up losing to the Eagles just because that's just a terrible place to go play. Then winning 3 in a row, they've got all the tools that they need. And I do have them as the 5th overall seed. Like, I mean, they are a legit playoff contender. I mean, Dalvin Cook is a great running back, and Justin Jefferson is an absolute stud. I won't go on my whole spiel on about your boy.
Kirk.
Oh, do you not need to? Or
I don't need to go on a Kirk Cousins Right,
Okay.
because he is the most overpaid, overrated quarterback. He's the most underrated good quarterback and the most overrated average quarterback.
Yeah.
That
I
does
don't
make
know.
sense.
Well, I'm
No, I
saying
mean,
like
I
he's
see what
like
he's saying.
he's on the cusp of being like one of the best quarterbacks, and I think he gets a lot of crap because no one's gonna sit there and compare him to Pat Mahomes or Russell Wilson or Josh Allen or somebody like that, or Matt Stafford, but then they'll act like he's leaps and bounds better than like I'm trying to think of somebody else in one of these. Like Ryan Tannehill. Like I don't think he's that much better than Ryan Tannehill. I think he is better. I know. I think he is. I think he is better, but I don't think he's like leaps and bounds better. He's not better. I don't think he's better than Matt Ryan. I just think he's younger.
Yeah,
But like, but there's
yeah.
such a compare like thing where it's like, oh, Kirk Cousins is so much better than these guys, but he's not nearly good enough than these guys.
Yeah, I
Yep.
understand that.
So yeah, 11-6. I think they just kind of get screwed out of not having to play a wild card game.
So this feels high. You may call Jack the homer, but I might be the homer. I got him going 13-4.
Whoa.
It just feels too high. It feels too high right now. Like I know this. I should not have any expectations for this team because that's how I'm gonna find happiness. But my expectations are through the roof right now. I'm ready for us to go make that chase for the Super Bowl. Kevin O'Connell was my pick for Coach of the Year. We got some good rookies coming in. Just feel like it's our time, and that's not going to hold up well in January, or it's most likely not going to. But yeah, that's my pick. 13-4. They do win the division, and they are the second overall seed.
Wow. I can't believe Brandon had a higher record prediction than me.
I know.
I got the Vikings going 12-5. They bring in an offensive minded head coach finally after good old Zimski finally departed his old ways. Didn't help, but bringing an offensive minded head coach to a team that has the ability to take the top off the defenses with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and KJ Osborne. Then you put Dalvin Cook in the mix too. The offensive line is actually, I would say, it is improving. You still got a little bit of a rough spot with Garrett Bradbury. Maybe he'll improve. Maybe we'll make an improvement there somewhere. But the defense is definitely the big spot you have to look at. I am excited though. They brought in Lewis Seen, first round pick out of Georgia.
That's because you dapped him up.
No, it's not. But he should play a pivotal role. They draft Andrew Booth, who is a projected first rounder in the second round, who is looking like he's probably gonna pair alongside Patrick Peterson, or maybe it's gonna be Cam Dantzler. I don't know, but good promise out of them. They bring in Jordan Hicks to replace Anthony Barr, which I mean seems like a horse apiece there. Zadarius Smith is a huge pickup for the defense to pair alongside Neil Hunter. As long as they stay healthy, probably will be a great 1-2 combo. Harrison Smith is backbone of that defense. Eric Kendricks backbone of that defense. It just I don't see this defense being as bad as they were last year. With the veteran presence that they have and these rookies, like even like that Brian Asamoah guy out of, I think that's his name, out of Oklahoma, is impressing the team a lot. But I mean, you look at their schedule, it's tough, but they have a lot of winnable games. And they win at home against Green Bay week 1. I think they lose week 2. Not saying that they can't win this game, but I think they lose week 2 because of the amount of emotion that goes into the Green Bay week. It's just always a huge week for this team. Then I see them going on a little 3-game win streak. Then I see them losing right before the bye to Miami. Probably can win that game too. It just seems like we always slip up. Then we win the Jared Allen ring of inductee ceremony game.
Ring of Honor. God
Ring
damn.
of Honor. Damn. Ring of Honor. My bad. Jesus. Ring of Honor game. Win at Washington pretty easy. Then Buffalo, obviously going to slip up there. I don't think we're going to touch them. Then we win 3 in a row at home against Dallas, New England, Jets. Pretty not a super hard stretch there, I would say. Lose at home or lose on the road against the Lions. Win 2 in a row against the Colts and Giants at home, lose at Green Bay, and then win at the Bears. I have them going 9-0 at home, which is crazy. Like I definitely think they could slip up, but I think they could pick up another game on the road. But I don't know. I just think this team, I don't really have much expectations for them. But just going based off their record or their schedule, looks like they have the ability to go with that 12-5 or even that 13-4, like Brandon's talking about. Not much higher than that. I don't think they can go higher than that. But I just think that this team has the ability to win the division. I still think they're going to win the division this year just because I think Green Bay is going to slip. But I do have them at the 6th seed right now.
So we do got two let's see, celebrity shots for the Vikings. First one is Jarrett again, because he is a Vikings fan. He says 10-7, right along with you. Vikings will have a slow start with the new coach, but as the season progresses, the offense will be put to their full potential, unlike under Zimmer, who's the main reasons the Vikings couldn't do anything. That, and super excited to see Zadarius Smith on the defense. The other one is our long lost member, Blake Fuller. I asked him for a record prediction before he left us, ascended to the other side of the grave. Let's see, 9-8, because they'll have a good enough team to win against the bad teams, but not good enough to win the division. Also, guys won't stay healthy, which will not help. So
It's such a like Blake
that is a
Closet Packer.
Blake
Blake Closet Packer fan take there.
Yep.
I don't know. Whatever.
So, all right. So for the NFC North, Andrew has them going 34-34. I have them going 35-33. Jack has them going 35-33. And then with that being the end of the entire league, for the AFC, the total wins that Andrew has for them is 138 to 134 losses. I have them at 150 and 122. And Jack has the AFC at 135 and 137 and 135. Then for the NFC, Andrew had them at 134 and 138. I have them at 126 and 146. And then Jack, you have them at 135 and 137. Woo.
Damn.
Yep.
All right.
Make sure you guys save your playoff predictions because we will be coming back to this. So save them.
It's already saved.
All right. Start us off, Andrew or Jack or whoever. Let's go.
All right. Do you want me to just go through everything in the wild card?
Yeah.
All right. AFC side, I got the 4 seed Broncos facing off against the 5 seed Ravens. Broncos take that one. AFC South matchup, 3 seed Titans, 6 seed Colts. Colts win that one. Then I got the 2 seed Bengals and the 7 seed Chargers. I think the Bengals win that one. Then in the NFC, we got the 4 seed Packers against the 5 seed Rams. I just don't see the Packers losing at home. Actually, shit, what am I saying? They always lose at home. Faked you. They always lose at home in the playoffs. So the Rams beat them there in a shocker. Vikings 6 seed against the Eagles 3 seed. Vikings take that one. And the 2 seed 49ers versus the 7 seed Cardinals take that one. And the 49ers take that one against Cardinals.
For the AFC, I got the 5 seed Chiefs beating the 4 seed Titans. I have the 3 seed Bengals beating the 6 seed Broncos. 2 seed Chargers beating the 7 seed Dolphins. NFC side, I got the 4 seed Eagles beating the 5 seed Packers. The 3 seeded Buccaneers beat the 6 seeded Saints. And then the 2 seeded Vikings beat the 7 seeded 49ers.
All right. So in the AFC, I've got the 5 seed Steelers beating the 4 seed Colts. Then I have the 3 seed Chargers beating the 6 seed Chiefs. I'm a believer. And then I have the 2 seed Bengals beating the 7 seed Broncos. And then on the NFC, I have the 5 seed Vikings beating the 4 seed Packers. Then I have the 2 seed Rams beating the 7 seed Lions. And I'm gonna hate myself for this, but I have the 3 seed Cowboys beating the 6 seed Panthers. I want to die just on that. You have no idea how much I hate the damn Cowboys. My whole dad's side of the family's Cowboys fans.
Boo, nobody likes the Cowboys.
Ooh, tomato, tomato, tomato.
What?
All right, nothing. In the A, did you go, Brandon, already?
For the wild card? Yeah.
Okay. All right, I just blanked. In the AFC divisional round, I got the 2 seed Bengals beating the 4 seed Broncos, and I got the 1 seed Bills beating the 6 seed Colts. Then I got the 5 seed Rams beating the 2 seed 49ers, and then I got the 1 seed Bucks beating the Vikings, the 6 seed.
I have the 2 seed Chargers beating the 3 seed Bengals. Then I have a rematch of last year's divisional round, but this time the Bills beat the Chiefs in Buffalo. I have the 3 seeded Buccaneers coming into Minnesota and taking that game. Then I got the 4 seeded Eagles losing to the 1 seeded Rams.
I have the 3 seed Chargers beating the 2 seed Bengals. I'm sorry, Joey. And then I have the 1 seed Bills beating the 5 seed Steelers. And then in the NFC, I've got the 2 seed Rams beating the 3 seed Cowboys. And then I have the 1 seed Bucks beating the 5 seed Vikings. Yeah.
Jack.
Right. In the AFC title game, I got the 1 seed Bills beating the 2 seed Bengals. And then in the NFC title game, I got the 1 seed Bucks beating the 5 seed Rams.
My AFC title game is the Bills taking down the Chiefs 1-2. And then in the NFC title game, I have the Buccaneers taking down the Rams in LA.
And then in the AFC, I'm a big Chargers believer. And Josh Allen is a Dan Marino type. They will choke somehow at home to the Chargers as the 3 seed. And then I have in the NFC the Bucks beating the Rams in a rematch of last year.
All right, in the Super Bowl, I got the Bills beating the Bucks. It's just the Bills year. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna bet against Tom Brady in this one. I just believe in the Bills way too much.
Got the same Super Bowl matchup as you, but a different result. I think the Buccaneers take this down. Like I said, I believe this is Brady's last season, and I think he's going to go out on top just like Manning did. So I think that it's going to be the will to win for Brady.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Brady and the boys taking down Justin Herbert and the Chargers. It's not his time yet, but of all these young ones, that's my guy.
Nice.
Well, that was fun.
We still got a little bit more year to go, Jack.
What do we gotta do now?
Just some announcements, stuff like that.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So first overall announcement happened over last week, but we are officially partners with Captain Coffee. So I'd like to thank Mark for that. If you go onto Captain Coffee's website, captcoffee.com, scroll over to the partners tab, you'll see our website come up. So that's pretty cool. Second off, this is our 1-year anniversary episode. So
Woo!
yeah, I know. Very exciting. Me and Jack have decided that we're gonna be coming out with a new design for a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or whatever coming up here. So head over to our Instagram at Certified Beef PC or our YouTube under the same username to hear about the process to buy one, and also like what it'll look like and everything like that. So that'll be pretty cool. And last thing, like I said, just gotta reminisce about our 1 year real quick. So got some shout outs to make, like in order from like who's inspired us the most to least or whatever. But we gotta start with Noah for appearing on an episode. Thanks to him. Happiest podcast on earth in general. Like, thank you, Andrew. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Jarrett. Everybody over there giving us ideas to on stuff to record about. Alex and Andrew from Greatest Games Never Played. Adam and Matt from Fouled Out for reaching out to us and letting us be a part of the mock draft episode. That was a good time. We'll be in touch with those guys to get them on sometime soon. Jared Fenema for coming on, Mark Bradley for coming on and letting us partner with him. Special shout out to you, Mr. Andrew Bailey, for letting me bother you about your podcast or mine. You know, we always really appreciate you being on with us and just having fun in general. So thank
Rock and roll.
you. To my former roommate Lloydell, thank you for letting me kick you out all of last year so I could record this thing. To all you're gonna like this one, Jack. To all of our beef buddies out there who listen to our episodes, either from day one or just picking it up, we really appreciate you. It's crazy to think we got people listening in Europe and Asia. We're talking about you, German man from Frankfurt am Main, Hesse or whatever it's pronounced. We know we're not big by any means in terms of podcasts, but those 850 downloads still feel really good to look at. So that's why we continue to produce episodes. Obviously, to our parents for just supporting us along the way. And lastly, got a shout out two men we've lost, Blake Fuller and Parker Vaughn. We understand that life got busy, and me and Jack can both say that we're thankful for the unique views you brought to the podcast and our time together, especially Blake with his stupid Packer takes and Parker being neutral all the time. It was a great time. You guys will always be a member of Certified Beef. So just have to give it up for a good year of stupid takes, just talking sports and having a blast with one another. So hopefully Certified Beef will surround or make it another year around the sun. Let's hope for that. Jack, you got anything? Come on, Jack.
Sorry. I don't have anything to drink right now.
Oh, you're a loser.
I can grab some quick.
Hurry up. What are you drinking, Andrew? What do you got?
Brothers Bond bourbon.
Nice. I got a shot of absolute vodka right now. Jack, what do you got?
I got my Mick Golden Light with DOS approved koozie for the cool to keep it cool.
Gosh.
There we go. Cheers,
Cheers, boys.
Oh
Feels
yeah,
Good one.
Oh. That tasted good.
Well, thank you again, Andrew, for being here.
Always
As
a pleasure.
always.
Yeah, definitely
Always.
a different video for you this time.
Yeah. This
Something.
time I'm not drilling you about sports questions. It's actually
No. It's my own opinions.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun though.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for us for this episode. It was a journey, another one,
Another
to get some-
marathon. Another
another one to
marathon.
get some popcorn, a blanket. Turn us on your TV, obviously, when you watch the YouTube video.
Yep.
But I think that's gonna do it for us here at Certified Beef and with Andrew on. Oh, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
1 year,
Later.
baby.